of course, you played across different formats and leagues. So, how different is it coming into an IPL season midway and finding rhythm when compared to, say, being part of a settled campaign right from the start? And also, another thing, becoming a father is a big life shift. So, has it altered your perspective on the grind of international and franchisee cricket in any?
Yeah, good question. Obviously, there's an opportunity cost to anything. I chose to have some time at home with my family, my newborn. And I can't thank Punjab Kings enough for allowing me to do that. It's obviously a hard decision from a cricket point of view to take time out to spend it at home. But something obviously I was very willing to do, and Punjab has been amazing in supporting that. So again, it just showcases what a great franchise and how lucky I am to be part of the franchise. Obviously, not that easy coming from training at home straight into IPL. It's a tough competition at the best of times, but yeah, this is the challenge we face. It's never easy playing coming into a tournament halfway, but look, the team's been going so well. So being a Punjab fan at home has been epic, and yeah, hopefully we can bounce back and get on the board again tomorrow.
I have a two-part question for you. With respect to Shreyas Iyer's captaincy, he has been touted as an inspirational leader, and the results are there for it. So, just want to know from you what kind of leader he is on and off the field, and what makes him such a great captain that everybody is talking about him. And the other part of the question is that in the last game, Punjab bowlers they struggled against Rajasthan. So, ahead of this game against Gujarat, what conversations have been there for you guys to bounce back with the ball?
Yeah, I mean, starting on Shreyas, I've played against him a lot. Played A cricket against him when we were both a lot younger, and you can see he's developed into a very confident player. I think that sort of continues through his captaincy. He has a lot of trust in his players. He's had lots of ups and downs in his career and understands that things don't always work out perfectly, but it's not easy to be a captain. Have had the chance captaining myself in some franchise tournaments, and I can imagine the pressure he's under as the leader of the Punjab franchise. But he does it so well. He's so consistent with his attitude and his temperament amongst the group, which I think flows on to how the guys play, and it also comes from Ricky as well. They work so well together. They build a lot of confidence within the group. We have a lot of fun. And then, I think when cricket happens, the boys really try to turn on and perform for their leaders. So again, nice to be back with the group. And sorry, what was the second question?
The second question was about the last game against RR, where Punjab looked well a little bit off with the execution with the ball. So, any conversation around getting back to your best self with the ball ahead of the game against the Gujarat Titans?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, execution's the key, right? So we're trying to execute. Some days not so good, but at the same time, the skill sets that are involved with this bowling attack, led by Arshdeep and Yuzi, I thought the spinners were fantastic last game. So trying to make little adjustments, trying to tighten up in areas. We know how within the IPL, how small margins can look a lot bigger on TV. But we're just trying to tighten up on areas, try to double down on our planning. We're very lucky with James Hopes leading the scouting, and the information we get spot on. And we weren't at our best last game, but look, I'm sure the boys will bounce back tomorrow, and look forward to that challenge.
We have seen many high scoring matches. So, as a bowler, how do you mentally reset yourself after a good delivery is being hit for a boundary?
Yeah, it is. IPL's just sort of a new competition on its own, and the style of cricket that's played here, it's obviously high scoring. So you're going to get hit for boundaries. That's part of being a bowler. And as you just alluded to, it's how do you bounce back the next ball and try to execute again. And sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But as long as you kind of go with that positive mindset, try to execute as best as possible, try to bowl within your game plan, and follow from the scouting reports that we have, you put yourself in the best position. And we've seen through the comp there's been high scoring, but wickets is the way to sort of stem that flow of runs. So I think as long as the bowlers are being aggressive, trying to find ways to get batters out, whilst also strict runs, then they're going to be in a good mindset. But as I said earlier, we've got such a experienced group around us, from the coaching staff, support staff, but also the players on the park. So you got to take the good with the bad at times and roll with the punches, and sometimes it will work out and sometimes it won't.
Ricky Ponting has spoken about wanting to do things differently this year to avoid another heartbreak after the 2025 IPL final. Is there any specific tactical difference that he has asked from you in the middle overs? And if so, what is that, tactical difference that he's asked from you?
Well, if there is, I certainly wouldn't be telling you guys. We can't send all our secrets out into the world. But yeah, I've only been here a week, so nice to fit back into the group. There's been some areas that we've tried to tighten up on, of course, and having only been here for one game, making my own adjustments and learning what's been working here and trying to learn from the other boys that what's been working throughout the comp. But you look, it feels like a similar group to last year. It's such a good environment to be a part of. The guys are having a lot of fun. We've talked a lot about enjoying each other's successes, and I think that's certainly something I noticed last year, and the same again this year. You can really tell when any of the teammates have a good day that the rest of the group really gets behind them, and I think that's a good sign for the team and moving forward.
Question is, you are consistent in different Ricky Ponting teams now. You have played for different franchises, coached by Ricky Ponting, and he has praised you a lot during commentary when you were playing in the BBL. So, is there a particular role you have been assigned by Ricky, and has there been any conversations between you and him in terms of that role?
I think it's a similar role to what I play in most teams. Yeah, that's what you kind of get selected for, I guess, is the role that I do for the New Zealand side. Obviously, it changes at times. Sometimes I bowl up front in the power play, but mostly closing off power plays and then bowling through the middle and then at the death. But with the way the world cricket is, as a bowler, you've got to be ready to kind of bowl at any stage. Yeah, it's great working with Rick. He really fills you with a lot of confidence. Obviously, if Ricky's telling you you're doing something right, it comes with a lot of weight because of how great a cricketer he is. But as a coach as well, he's been incredible, and you can see the passion that he has for the game, and he's just forever trying to find ways to get better, and talk to you and have conversations to try to make myself better, which is awesome. And I'm very fortunate to play underneath him in a few franchises and really enjoy it. So yeah, again, great to be back here with the Punjab group, and it's been nice to sort of slot back in with a team that's in a good space.
Would be about the pitches that are being offered in this year's IPL. I mean, we've seen consecutive 200 plus, even 220 plus scores are getting chased. Plus, also with the impact player rule, now you know that as a bowler, that the other team has batting till number 8 or 9. So, would you say that the IPL is, over unfairly tilted towards batters nowadays? And I would also love to know your opinion on the impact player rule.
Look, it's just the game. It's the tournament. Coming to the IPL, that's going to be high scoring. It's been mostly like that the whole time I've been playing here, relative to the other tournaments. The curators do fantastic jobs at these grounds now. The wickets, as you said, are amazing. The training facilities we get are incredible, and then the talent coming out of India is remarkable. I think every year there seems to be new young players coming through who can play all the shots and have a huge amount of confidence. So I think from an Indian point of view, it's amazing to see that talent coming through the ranks and performing on the big stage. As a bowler, we just adjust sort of our mindset around it. If it's going for 200, you're trying to go for less than 10s. You just try to adjust as much as you can. And as we spoke about earlier, if they hit you off your good ball, you've got to quickly review whether it was a good ball or a bad ball or a mis-executed, and try to bounce back the next ball and bowl a good one. But the IPL was an incredible tournament. Things change very quickly. Momentum's such a big thing within the game here. So trying to get your team on the right side of the momentum and ride that is the key. And the Punjab team's been doing that very well. It's been awesome watching from home and seeing them have some success. So, but the impact rule, yeah, again, it's just a different style of cricket. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it. From my point of view, you just turn up and play the rules that there are. Obviously, as you play tournaments around the world, they change for various reasons. And it's just trying to adapt, I guess, as quickly as possible to what you're playing and what you're playing in front of you, and try to have some impact on the game to try to win the game. Because regardless of the score, at the end of the day, you're just trying to get 2 points. So however you do that and however that might look is different. But regardless of the fact, we're just trying to win games of cricket.
But if you look at the 7 completed matches so far, the bowling unit has conceded 200 or more 5 times and 190 plus once. We understand that the pitches have been flat, but if you look at the overall objective of going the distance, do you think the execution can be much better so that this doesn't get replicated or repeated in one of the more important games in the season?
Of course, we're always trying to execute better. There's no doubt. That's the joy of playing professional sport. You're never satisfied with where you're at, and you're always trying to strive to be better. And you go through phases of not having success, and then you go through phases of having success. So trying to get into the phase of having success and executing as you see best is where we want to be. And the boys are working extremely hard. You can't fault any of the work and that's been done in behind the scenes. So all we can do is work. As you said, that the wickets have been good, so it's hard to kind of justify. And if the team's been winning, then that's the main point. But of course, as a bowler and part of the bowling group, we're always trying to get better. Even when we're bowling really well and restricting teams to low numbers, we're forever trying to get better. So nothing changes there. We just still get back to work in the days in between games. And then when it comes to the game, we just try to execute 1 or 2 balls more. Rick's spoken a lot about that. Just we're not trying to get a million times better, just 1 or 2 balls in your spell. If you can get better, then that's going to have a huge effect over the whole game.
Seems like your run up has shortened this IPL. Is it something that you are trying, or is it because of some kind of injury? And second part being, yesterday Jamieson was cautioned for his celebration for Sooryvanshi wicket. Is this something that you think is going against the bowlers, because you see fielders and batters going unnoticed time and time again for their celebrations?
Run up still the same, yeah. And yeah, Carl's a good mate of mine. He got pretty fired up, which is pretty understandable. Not easy to get wickets in this part of the world, and that was a big one. So I think it's part of the game, as you said. I think celebration. I think fans like to see the passion. So I can't comment on anything from a governing body point of view, but as a player, I think the passion coming out is great for the game. As a fan of the game, you like to see players getting passionate, players showing emotion, players being excited to take a wicket. Obviously, there is times maybe where it steps over the mark, but for the game of cricket, it shows how much the players love playing here, love competing, and then when they have success, you can see the emotion coming out. He's obviously a big guy too, so when a big guy has a lot of emotions, it looks even bigger.
Sorry. Before Kyle Jamieson, actually in the interview last night, he said that he's never been afraid of a 15-year-old as much as he's been of Vaibhav Sooryvanshi. You yourself faced him in the last match. So your thoughts on the kid, like being 15 years old and like facing the best bowlers and taking them on. The second part of my question was on the workload management part. Like we've seen just with Bumrah having a lot of conversation on Bumrah having workload management. You yourself has opted for a casual playing contract with New Zealand cricket. So as a fast bowler yourself, what do you think, like how good are these solutions towards workload management for a pacer?
Yeah, look, he's a good player. There's lots of good players in the IPL. We've got 2 pretty epic young players who open the batting for us. So yeah, I don't think it's any surprise that there's good players in the IPL striking well and performing. he's obviously an amazing talent for the country. We've got two of them who open the batting for us, amazing talents for the country. So a lot of competition for that opening spot for India. Workload management, great question. There's no doubt we're playing more cricket than we ever have. So managing that, I don't know what the answer is. I'm working away on a platform myself, Yorker, that tries to help athletes be self-sufficient in managing their workloads and give them some direction around how much they're bowling. But it's very individualized for different players. Some players need more work, some players need less. So again, it's individualized, and I certainly can't comment on Jasprit's career and where he's at. He's pretty seasoned, so I'm sure he knows best. But yeah, finding an avenue where we keep bowlers fresh for longer and try to reduce injuries, I think is great, and I think it needs some work to be done on it. You obviously want all the best players playing as much as possible. I'm not sure it's ever going to get to like a baseball style where you have a rotating roster of pitchers. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but they kind of might play 1 or 2 games a week, even though they play 6 or 7 as a team. I don't know what the answer is. I think it's worth looking at. I imagine for players peaking for moments, the World Cups or whatever it might be, peaking for those big tournaments and taking rests at other times during the season. Again, it's very individualized. We have great support networks around us trying to work out what the answers are. But yeah, it's something definitely the fast bowling community is looking at. We want players to not get injured, of course, but it's fast bowling, so you're going to get injured. So trying to find a healthy balance so that we can get players on the park, I guess, as long as possible and as much as possible is the best outcome.
The 6 straight wins before the loss to Rajasthan Royals. So, what was the message from Shreyas and Ricky after that game?
Well, exactly that. They've had six wins, so I don't think we need to throw the baby out with the bathwater or any other saying like that. But yeah, we've had 6 wins, so there's a lot of confidence in the group. It's difficult to win games of cricket at the best of times. IPL is very challenging. The teams are so even. So yeah, I think it's more of the same. Just remember that they've been playing some great cricket. Take that confidence, get back to work, do some more hard work, try to perform better next game, 1 or 2 balls here or there, and you get across the line. So boys have had some time off this week. We've had a little bit of an extra gap between games, and then yeah, we're in for a challenge tomorrow against GT.
Aditya, you can go. Matches this season with most teams scoring 200 plus runs. Have you made any changes in bowling strategies or planning?
No, still the same. Try to do what I do best. I had the World Cup here, similar conditions. Trying to adjust in the match, trying to learn from other bowlers, trying to get better at each training session, trying to execute better. Nothing changes. Obviously, it comes with its challenges when they're high-scoring games, and it's a bit difficult to shut down boundaries compared to other places. But it's the game we're playing here, and so you just need to learn to play the cards in front of you and try to do your best, and that's what we're trying to do.
Amita, you can go next.
Loki, do you think modern day batters fear unpredictability more than sheer raw pace? And as a bowler, how do you plan to exploit that?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you think modern day batters fear unpredictability more than sheer raw pace? And as a bowler, how do you plan to exploit that?
What do you mean unpredictability?
Let's say you're bowling 150 and they are just saying, I'm just going to go hit the first ball for a six. Like, how do you plan to exploit that? Keeping in mind that they have this kind of mindset.
Yeah, but when you say unpredictability, what does that mean? Like, how do you mean someone who bowls lots of different lengths and lines, or someone who
Yeah,
changes?
different kind of variations like slower balls, 150 pace. They have different kind of assets in their arsenal.
Yeah,
So
look,
how do
I
you
think all the 150 bowlers do change the pace. They try to get swing in the first 2 overs. Yeah, look, I mean, extra pace comes with its benefits, and it comes, sometimes the faster you bowl, the faster it goes to the rope. So, but it's an X factor kind of thing. If you can get extra pace, then obviously the batter has less time to react. And then, every modern day cricketer has variables. They change the pace of the ball. They have different change ups. So it's about adapting as much as possible and trying to learn what's working on that particular day. But I don't think it's their individual. I think, every bowler's trying to do both. All good.
Yeah. So, Lockie, I just wanted to understand from a bowler's perspective that does the conversation between a bowler and a team management happen with respect to how you are feeling? So basically, or do you think players are somewhat taken for granted with cricket happening throughout the year? I mean, so many tournaments and people are, phased out. And so do these conversations happen, or is it slightly taken lightly, the workload management part of the bowlers?
The conversations, well, I mean, I can only speak on my point of view, but definitely they do happen. Again, I'm very lucky the franchise teams I play for, there's a lot of care for the players. Punjab's a fantastic example of that. So yeah, of course, the team wants you to play all the time, but there is an understanding that that's not always possible. And I'm not just talking IPL, I'm talking New Zealand cricket, very supportive with bowling loads, trying to keep players on the park, other franchise tournaments as well. There's a lot more resting going on through the tournament and other tournaments I play, particularly ones that have like a game every second or third day for a whole tournament. It's quite a lot, because you want to keep your starting lineup more or less fit for the finals, right? So yeah, there's definitely more conversation. There's a lot of care in cricket for players. I think maybe that gets glossed over for whatever reason, but certainly within the community, there's a lot of care for players. We have unreal support staff who physio, medical team who look after us, try to provide everything for us, nutritionists, we get everything. So there's a lot of care for the players. And then injuries are just part of playing professional sport, right? We're trying to do something at 100% each time we play because we want to win the game. So that comes with risk, and that risk might lead to injuries and it might not. But I think from my experience, and I can only speak my experience, that each team I play for has a lot of care for their players and trying to keep them on the park as long as possible. So I think, yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Lockie.
Of course, it's actually quite hard to actually to actually judge someone on one performance. But the thing is, does being an overseas fast bowler in the 11 comes with an added pressure, given there's also Ben Washers and Xavier Bartlett in the squad?
Does it come with extra pressure? Is that the question?
Yeah, that's the question.
Not really. Look, I'm trying to perform. I'm only really worried about what I'm doing. They're obviously good mates of mine, and great players. X did a great job for the team. Performed well. Ben Dorsh's great player. So yeah, of course. If they play, I wish them all the best. From my point of view, just trying to become better, trying to perform, and that's all I can really focus on. Those things are kind of outside of my control. So from my point of view, yeah, played one game. I'll try to perform better next game, and then we'll go from there.
We'll take. Was your conversation with the Punjab Kings ownership group / team management when you wanted to take some time off to spend with your family? What was that conversation like?
Yeah, really positive with all the ownership, Ricky, the boss, CEO. Like the conversation was about retention. I was pretty open that I was missing a big chunk of the first few weeks because I was going to be at the World Cup of my son's life. I just missed the birth just ever so slightly, but I had 4 days with them, which was great. And then I had to fly back to the World Cup. So sometimes these are the challenges we have as cricketers. And, I'm obviously in a very privileged position to play cricket as a job, but it does have some challenges. But from my point of view and with my family, it was a priority. But I had a very honest conversation with the group and said, I'm keen to come back. However, I'm only available for the second half, and they were happy with that. Obviously, they were super supportive, and I found that the whole time of spending time with family. I think certainly we share very similar cultures in that way that, family comes first. So I'm very appreciative of that. I think conversations were healthy, and, it was nice to be a Punjab fan from afar, watching from home with the early mornings, the wee man waking up. But yeah, now I've kind of here ready to, wanting to play cricket, really happy to be here. But can't thank the Punjab franchise enough for their support. But yeah, hopefully it'll count towards us going deep in this tournament. So very exciting next month.